Wow, the camera's kind of grainy, huh? The lighting. So get your favorite crystal, midnight quartz, great for removing negativity. And we're going to do meditation. So we're starting to meditate already. So let's get ready. And then we'll see what arises. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. So I want you to pay attention to the middle of your back and just kind of allow, if there's any movement there, just allow the movement to shift kind of up into around your shoulder blades. Kind of like you have wings on and you're fluttering. Don't force it. If you don't feel anything, just allow yourself to just breathe in and out. It's not a contest. Allow yourself to spiral. So you might feel something on the back of your neck, or you might just feel yourself kind of spiral to the right. You might spiral to the left too. Your body's just trying to rebalance itself. If you don't move it all, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Just breathe it in and out and just stay in your heart. I think this is a really important time to stay in our heart because we can get pulled all around in our monkey. Jump here, jump there, see this, see that, go here, go there. We have to stay in our heart and attend to what's important. If there's a fire, if there's a flood, we need to stay and meditate and pray about it. You know, all these crashes of the planes, we need to pray about these. There's going to be more. We're in Aquarius right now. There's stuff going on in the grid. Stuff going on in the grid. So I think I talked about this before. You're gonna feel your body vibrating. It might be spiraling, and that's okay. It's the energy flowing, right? So you need to allow that. That's part of your healing process too. And you might also hear sound, like this really high vibrational sound. You might hear it more in the left ear than the right ear. So this is not like a painful sound. This is not like if you have an infection or you have some problem with your ear where you may have to see a doctor. This is where you hear a divine sound. It's almost sounds like an orchestra that you can't even describe. That's how amazing the sound is when you listen to divinity. So you might start hearing that. Like when I start hearing sound in meditation, when I go back to the early days, actually I start hearing sound. When did I start hearing sound? I don't know, because I studied with different gurus. Now you got me thinking. It wasn't my first guru was Kirpal Singh. He was my first teacher. That didn't last long. That love affair, that was quickly over in spirit. So I moved on. And then, so the first time I heard sound, maybe it was with Guru Baraji, the young guru. I think there was a guru before him. But when you hear it, okay, you might hear so you try putting earplugs in when you start to meditate. Find yourself a quiet space. Make sure it smells good in your home. You want to maybe spray some real lavender oil or peppermint. So those are really nice scents. You can spray them together for calming, for awakening of your spirit. So you spray it, or you want to burn some Santo Palo incense or your favorite incense. So you want to have it nicely scented and maybe light a candle. And then, like I said, get yourself a favorite crystal, some earplugs, so that when you hear the sound, you're gonna know it's divine. You're gonna know it's a divine sound. You're just gonna know. Your spirit, if you start when okay, let not if, forget the if. When you start to hear the divine sound, you're going to know that it's divine spirit. Otherwise, you won't be hearing it. Okay, I think that answered that question. So the first time I heard the sound, I think it was crickets, but it transpired very, very quickly. Like the level of meditation went deeper. So when your meditation goes deeper, that sound that you hear is going to change. Nothing stays the same. Your meditations are not going to stay the same. You're not made out of stone or plastic. You're human. You're transmitting energy from the universe and from what we eat and what we do and what we say and how we live. So you're going to transmit that energy into true form of love and spirit. So you can surround yourself and share that with others. So the sound that I heard was very earthy. It's actually crickets. That's like one of the popular sounds people hear when you go deeper into meditation. You might hear the sound of crickets. So you can listen for that sound. Also, I heard a flute, like a high, shrill, pitched flute. That was one of the sounds. But those like passed away pretty quickly. Like it was like bam, bam, and then it moved on to chimes. Probably one of my favorite sounds, the chimes. So the chimes are really beautiful. So you get to hear chimes, and I think the chimes too. When you hear chimes, I think that's also telling you that you might be entertaining a spirit. You might ask for an answer from the other side of the world, the other side of our world, our physical world, into the spirit land. And I think when you hear the chimes, like they say, I don't know, bells and angels, they kind of go together, right? I think chimes do too. So that's when you're being contacted. But then, you have to see what works for you too. Okay, so I can only speak from my point of view. for entertainment purposes only, in my opinion. IMO. So anyway, you're sitting there, you're meditating, you're hearing the sounds, you have your earplugs in, you have a good scented air, it's nice and quiet, and allow your body just to move into spirit, right? And then after the sounds that I heard, those sounds, they're pretty distinctive. You know, when you hear them, it's not going to be an orchestra, but as you develop into your spiritual, I don't want to say higher consciousness, maybe just awakening. You know, we're always awakening, right? All the time, like a flower. We bloom and then we die, and then we bloom and then we die, and then we bloom and then we die. It's just like a flower. It's constantly blooming and it's constantly dying, resolving itself. And as we do that, as we go through those changes, the sound that we hear is going to change. I really didn't know this video was going to be about the sound of meditation, but you know, that's what happens sometimes. Things transpire, right? Well, I guess that's what happens when you stay in the heart. So stay in your heart. And then when you start to see, you start to hear these different, you'll have to let me know what you hear. You'll start to hear orchestras. And the orchestras are amazing. You know, it's not like you can even say, oh, that's a violin or that's a viola or there's some drums or something like that. The energy of the divine music that you hear, I'd still like to taste the divine nectar. I haven't been able to do that yet. But the sound that you hear, the sound that you hear is true love. Hi,
Hi, Nadine.
how are you?
Oh, I'm really sick of dealing with these goddamn storms. What's your weather like?
I don't know, it's doing something outside. I haven't been out today.
You don't have a storm going on.
Well, there's always something going on. It's always been something going on for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're having snow that's going to lead to freezing rain, which is going to lead to ice, then high winds, threatened outages, and